Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, we got the hop and we got the slam. Hopslam is a 10% double IPA from Bell's Brewing in Comstock, Michigan. If you've never seen my videos before, let me introduce myself. I'm Sean, this is my show Draft Therapy, and I review and talk about Michigan beer. Now occasionally I'll talk about a non-Michigan beer, but every Tuesday and Thursday I feature a new Michigan beer from breweries all around the state. I want to thank all the new people that have come aboard since last year's 2018 Hopslam video. It's been really humbling to meet you all, to hear about how passionate you are about craft beer, and I look forward to talking to more of you in 2019. Big shout out to viewer Doug, aka Dr. B. Dr. B, what up? If you're not familiar with Hopslam, this is Bell's big start of the year beer. It's usually released here in Michigan the first few weeks of January. It's a big double IPA, and it seems you either think it's way overrated or really underrated. And I started in the underrated camp. I fell over to the overrated camp really quickly, and 2018's Hopslam brought me back to maybe right in the middle. So if you want to see that review, it'll be floating up in the corner or in the description below this video, so check it out. All right, by this point, I'm sure you're yelling at your screen for me to get on with it already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I usually do and take a look at the can. Then I'm going to get with pouring it and trying it and telling you what I think. Fun fact, harvesting hops will make you sleepy, and drinking too many of these will probably make you sleepy too, in all fairness. So taking a look at the can here, it has not changed. It's been the same for quite a long time as far as I can remember, except now it's in cans. It used to be in bottles. And it says Hopslam Ale Bells across the top. It has a guy like crushed under 3 hop cones. And it says Double India Pale Ale Brewed with Honey. And across the bottom, scrolling by, it says an exceptionally aromatic blend of hops combined in this balanced interpretation of the double IPA style, best enjoyed as fresh as possible. And then it has a government warning. And the thing that Bell's has been doing a lot lately is they've been adding their ABV stuff on cans, at least to the side. So here it says alcohol 10% by volume, shelf life 3 months, do not litter. So it has an independent craft beer logo. The thing I've noticed, I had held on to 2018's cans for quite a while, a few months, tried it afterwards. It gets to be, when you age this, it actually gets to be kind of a little bit more like a mead. Or not a mead, but like a barley wine. So just kind of keep that in mind if you pick this up afterwards and you're thinking, well, how long can I age this? You can age it for a long time and it actually still tastes pretty good. I've had it, like I said, 8 months, 6 to 8 months after, and I really still enjoyed it. So let's get a nose out of the can here. Wow, it smells really hoppy. Has a nice kind of piney scent to it. Just has a nice, clean IPA scent. If you've ever, smelled IPA before, West Coast style IPA, it has more of that kind of smell to it. It's got a real clean, piney kind of scent to it. So let's go ahead and pour this. Right here in my old Bell's glass. And pouring it's coming really nice and golden out of the glass. And it's collecting really nicely in the glass. It's got a little bit of a darker yellow color. Nice head. I poured a can of this earlier. You might have seen it in the intro before I tried it. I poured a can and the head fills up really nicely. It's got about a good 2 fingers worth of head, as you can see that. But it's collecting really, it's got a nice kind of golden hue to it. It's got a lot of carbonation rising up and holding up to the light. This is totally filtered, totally nice and clear. It's got a really nice color to it. There's no haze. This is not a hazy beer. Don't mistake this for a hazy beer. So let's get a better nose right out of the glass here. And yeah, just kind of getting more of that clean, piney, hoppy scent to it. There is a little bit of a sweetness there. That's probably from the honey that's been used. I've said in 2018's video that, it used to be this was like the pine cone of all pine coniest beer. You didn't get much honey, and it seemed like I hadn't had it for several years until last year. I picked up a lot more on the sweetness, and I actually appreciated that more. The head here is dissipating quite a bit. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Cheers. It's got a really nice resinous taste up front, very piney, but also very sweet. So up front, the first taste is really sweet, but it's got that hoppy, piney bitterness to it as well. But yeah, up front, you get this bitterness, this piney bitterness, but it also has a sweetness to it. But the sweetness doesn't all kick in until you actually start to swallow. And as you start to swallow, that's when that sweetness, that honey that's used really kicks in, and it kind of hits you with this clean honey taste. And then on the swallow, after the swallow, it kind of switches back and forth. I'm kind of picking up on some of the sweetness, but I'm definitely picking up on the hoppy, piney bitterness. But then the sweetness of the honey comes back. So it's like, it kind of comes in these waves, right? So you get like a wave of piney bitterness, hoppy bitterness, but then it comes through as a sweetness, a sweet honey flavor. It goes back and forth. And I swear, as it kind of sits on my tongue, that aftertaste is nice and crisp, piney bitterness. But I swear, on the back on my palate, there's this sweetness to it. And that's probably where I keep tasting that sweetness. That sweetness keeps kind of kicking in, kind of reverberating over that pininess. It keeps kind of flowing in there. So I don't remember picking that up on last year's, and maybe my palate still hadn't become refined enough to pick that up, but I'm really picking up on it this year. The sweetness is there, but it's not so much in the forefront. It's on the swallow, it's after the swallow, and then it's in the aftertaste. The aftertaste, that honey sweetness kind of hangs on your soft palate, on the roof of your mouth, the back of the roof of your mouth, and just kind of hangs in there and just kind of mixes together. And as I'm talking, I can still taste that honey sweetness in the back end, and I'm really digging it. Like I said, you either think that this is probably really overrated or really underrated. I'm falling kind of in the middle. I don't think it's overrated. I don't think it's underrated. I just really kind of have begun to appreciate, after trying all these different beers over the last couple of years and a lot of different IPAs, it kind of has a little bit of a West Coasty, piney bitterness to it, but it also has this really nice honey sweetness that I don't think, off the top of my head, I can't think of anywhere else that you can pick that up in one beer, where you get that really strong piney bitterness of a West Coast IPA, but that really nice sweetness as well. Usually you'll get some sweetness on the forefront, but you won't get a lot in the aftertaste. And this is, like I said, the only beer I can really think of where you get a lot of that piney bitterness, but you also get a lot of that kind of honey sweetness that just kind of hangs around, and it's really nice. It just kind of hangs out in your mouth, and you can have that aftertaste sit there, and you can still, like, even now after that last drink, I'm still picking up on some of that sweetness. And I haven't said it before, but I should comment that this was packaged on January 2nd, 2019, just after the new year. This is the Monday that it actually hit store shelves here on the east side of the state. This is as fresh as you can get it, unless you pick it up from Bell's, which I think it may have been available for a few days, but you can't get it much more fresh than that. All right, friends, that is 2019 Hopslam by Bell's. Truly one of the most unique tasting double IPAs that I think you'll get a chance to try. So have you had Hopslam yet? And if you did, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, you can check out links to my merch, some social media, some Amazon links that I have down there, and all that other good stuff. And stay tuned to Draft Therapy for more Michigan beer videos every Tuesday and Thursday. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, no matter where they are, and don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.